Hey all, welcome to this evening's video. Sorry I've been getting out so late and so infrequently. Life has gotten interesting. I've got a job where I work part-time, starting at dark 30, but it's 6 days a week. So I'm a little tired most of the time. I get one day off, I sleep in, and that's the day I participate in SCA Armored Combat. So I'm a little tired and bruised, and I like to spend time with the girl, because she's kind of cute and very pregnant. But this week's video is to talk about why do Aspies date more bisexuals and or women with behavioral emotional problems. This was something from me. And I did my own research, and this is an old topic. It was actually the fifth topic I came up with. Fifth topic listed, actually. And I did some research, and I did find out some things, and I talked to my therapist, and the collected amalgam, the short version is this. Aspies don't date more bisexuals than others. I date more bisexuals than others. In fact, to the point that near as I can tell, I may have slept with a straight woman before, but I've never dated a straight woman before. And I say may have slept with a straight woman before because I had a few one-night stands. But I know at least 2/3 of my one-night stands were with bisexual women, and every woman I've ever dated was bisexual. Now, to say that sounds like a lot of women is not true, because while I'm 34 and I live with a lovely woman who is off camera at the moment, fiddling with her computer and having a jolly good time, I didn't have a really serious girlfriend. I really didn't have anything you'd really want to call a girlfriend until I was in my mid-20s. I basically sort of dove headfirst into a serious relationship. And it worked for about 10 months, and then it sort of didn't. And most of that's my fault. And if she's out there watching, she's going, yes! But you're right. My ex-girlfriend is married, has 2 kids. She's doing good. But she was bi, and my ex before this one is, well, the last two I would hetero-flexible is how they would describe themselves. Not necessarily bisexual. I have dated women who were very ambivalent to the sex of their partner, as long as they found something interesting in them. Both my ex last year that I mentioned that did some messed me up in the head a little, and that I still care for and still my friend, and my current lovely girlfriend who will give birth to our daughter. By the way, having a daughter, don't know if I mentioned that yet, in February, are flexible as to who they spend their bedroom time with, although a romantic relationship is still, they're still not sure. Thankfully, I have one that doesn't need to find that out because it was me. But I, for multiple reasons, pretty much having to do with my mother, date bisexuals. My mom's never come out and told me she's bi. I have heard from many people that she is in fact bisexual. So I may have picked up on that, and the whole Freudian aspect of we date our parents. I date bisexual women, or women that are very hetero-flexible. So that takes care of that. Why do Aspies date more bisexuals? Pretty much they don't. This is bisexuals. I thought maybe, Aspie women would have the same thing with men. No. Aspie men do not. I do. So that answers that. Aspie. But behavioral emotional disorders, I did find something interesting. On average, because Aspies, even if we have an emotional disorder, and I have an emotional disorder, as I've mentioned before, as I've listed out, I have a mood disorder, not otherwise specified, severe emotional handicap, and I get to be one of the jolly good few that it lasts well into adulthood. It never went away, so it was still affecting me well into my early to mid-20s. It still affects me now. I'm just better at controlling it. But I know the DSM says, oh, it's by affecting your life. Well, it's still under the surface at all times, as my girlfriend can attest. She's looked over and said, what the hell's going on in your head? I said, you don't really want to know. So that is how it is. I have severe emotional. But I'm very much stable. I'm very predictable.
Want to kill everything.
My girlfriend says, you're very predictable with your emotional disorder. You just want to kill everything. Well, I don't want to kill everything, Clarice. I just want to have fun. No, never mind. But I do have a lot of anger issues. And barring that, I'm still very stable, still very predictable. And Aspies have, despite what a lot of women I know with Asperger's syndrome and some men I know, very stable emotional self. We don't flip out for no reason. We just have more reasons to flip out. So while other people say, oh, you flip out for no reason at all, there was nothing to flip out about. Yeah, there was. You just either A, have enough spoons to deal with it, or B, have more filters, or C, or D, or E, we could go on. There's generally a reason, and a very good reason, for an Aspie. Mostly it can be boiled down to we just have more stimulation to deal with. That is true with every Aspie. Maybe light doesn't affect you as much as the next Aspie, but G sound does, so you kind of get the choleric. Well, so we are essentially very, very stable. We are mood stability-wise. If it wasn't for the mood disorder, I'd be way more stable than I am. And I have an inherent dislike of my emotions either being high or low. I prefer to be in the middle. Do it through self-control and do it through avoiding situations that cause me issue. Now, bipolars and people with borderline personality disorder are inherently unstable. And they tend to want to hook up with people who are inherently stable. And Aspies tend to want to find people who are inherently more unstable than them, sort of to give us the stimulus that we don't have, to sort of pull us out of our shell a little. And the people with borderline personality disorder or bipolar disorder want us around to sort of stabilize them and keep them better. It doesn't work. I literally went for about, well, up until this girlfriend, actually. This one right here has no emotional or mood disorders. I am frankly frightened and surprised by maybe she's concealing something. But it's the very first person I've ever dated that didn't. Including the last one. Whether she has borderline personality disorder or she just has a bunch of other things that mimic it, the effect was the same. And the one before that, my fiance, and the one before that, and the one before that. Yeah, I could pick them. And I was looking for sort of the counter to my internal stability. I needed something that would sort of shake things up. But it doesn't work because of that inherent stability rails against us and beats against us and causes us way more emotional stress than we're used to, and we end up flipping out or taking it out on our partner or not reacting and them going, but, and they make it worse and bigger and bigger and bigger until they can get us to react, and it's bad. So if you're an Aspie, don't date a bipolar or a borderline personality disorder if you can help. Now, if they're great people and you want to try, far be it from me, maybe you can make it work. I have seen it work. I know some Aspies that have made it work with bipolars, and I know some borderline personality, and I know some people with borderline personality bipolar who made it work with Aspies. So give it a shot. I'm just saying the percentages are low. Now, interesting corollary. More Aspies are men than women. Bipolar, it's 50-50. I know as many people with bipolar disorder that are male as female. But borderline personality disorder seems to occur more often in women than men. Now, I don't absolutely know. Like I said, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I have never taken a class like that in my life. But I'm wondering if that's related. If those two numbers are related in the brain. If there's something about borderline personality disorder that makes women more susceptible to it, and Asperger's syndrome that makes it occur more often in men, And if those numbers are roughly equal, and if they are, maybe there's a connection. But so yeah, there you go. Why do Aspies date more people with mood disorders? Because we need it and it's bad for us. It's like candy. It's like ice cream. It tears us apart. It's choose your poison, choose your metaphor. It's something that we want, but is bad for us. And I can honestly say that I live with a woman whose calm is strange, and it's been 2 months, and I still don't know what the hell to do about it. I keep expecting her to flip out every day, and that would be normal for me. Why? Because my mother is crazy. That's why. She's a bipolar woman. I mean, not bipolar. She's a bisexual woman. Probably, I don't know. She's never said anything, but she's definitely got emotional disorders and other problems, and I'm used to that. That's normal. That's what I call home. That's a whole nother video on. Well, I've talked about family problems, so that is another video. You can look it up. I've already talked about it on this channel. But so yeah, guys out there, if you're dating women and you seem to be just dating crazy after crazy after crazy, more so than an NT, chances are it's because you're an Aspie. And women, same for same. So have a good evening and have a great week.